under the harsh white buzz of supermarket lights, two lives were about to collide. One small and terrified, one rough, broken and wearing a jacket the world hated on sight. Welcome back to Kindness Valley, where we share real stories that prove you should never judge a heart by its cover. If you believe in second chances, quiet courage, and the power of one small signal, stay with me till the end. Because on an ordinary afternoon, in an ordinary grocery store, a man everyone thought was a monster became someone's miracle. Logan Pierce wasn't out looking for trouble that day. He pushed his shopping cart down the aisle, heavy boots thudding on the cheap tile floor. The back of his black leather vest read Hell's Angels, patches and scars stitched across it like a map of all the bad choices he'd made. To most people, Logan was exactly what he looked like: trouble, ex-con, biker, the guy you move away from in a parking lot. He was just there to grab a few things before a long ride. Cereal, coffee, some snacks to eat on the road. His life was simple: ride, sleep, repeat. No attachments, no responsibilities, no saving anyone, not even himself. But fate doesn't care who you think you are. Sometimes it just throws you into the exact moment you were born for. As he turned into the cereal aisle, Logan froze. Halfway down the row stood a tall man in a faded hoodie, a snake tattoo curling up his forearm. In his grip was a little girl, no more than 6 years old. Brown hair in a messy ponytail, pink shoes, a cartoon unicorn on her t-shirt. Her hand was in his, but nothing in her face said safe. Her eyes were wide, glassy, scanning. Not the bored look kids have in grocery stores. Not the whiny, "Can I have this?" look. No, this was something else. This was fear. Then she saw Logan. She didn't blink, didn't look away. Slowly, almost mechanically, she raised her free hand to chest level, palm facing out, fingers open. And then, very deliberately, she folded her thumb into her palm and wrapped her fingers down over it. Logan's heart stopped. He'd seen that signal before. Some late night, half asleep, scrolling on his phone. A video teaching people a silent hand signal for help, a way to say "I'm in danger" without a sound. At the time, he'd watched it and thought, probably never see that in real life. Now, here it was, in front of him. On a little girl with a shaking hand and bruises peeking out from under her sleeve. His first thought, no, this can't be what it looks like. His second thought, if I walk away and I'm wrong, I'll never sleep again. The man with the snake tattoo noticed Logan staring. His grip on the girl's hand tightened. Hard. Her lips trembled. Her eyes said everything. Please. Please don't leave. Something deep inside Logan, something he thought had died years ago, woke up. He set the box of cereal back on the shelf without looking at it. Then he started walking toward them, boots echoing, jaw clenched, every instinct screaming that this could go very, very bad. But another voice, louder and clearer, rose above the fear. If this was your little sister, your niece, what would you want a stranger to do? He forced his expression calm, casual, like he just wanted to say hi. Hey there, kiddo, Logan said, voice low and gentle. The man yanked the girl closer, forcing a smile that never reached his eyes. We're in a hurry, the man muttered. She's tired. Long day. The girl's head moved just the slightest bit, a quick, desperate shake. No, Logan caught it. His stomach turned. He looked straight at the man and pointed behind him. Hey man, Logan said in a friendly tone. You dropped something back there. It was an instinctive lie. Smooth, casual. The kind of thing you say when you've survived 1,000 confrontations and learned how to play people. The man's reflexes betrayed him. He glanced behind himself, just for half a second. That was all Logan needed. In that tiny sliver of time, Logan dropped down on one knee, putting himself at the girl's eye level. You're safe now, he whispered quickly. I've got you. Don't be scared. Her eyes flooded with tears she hadn't let fall. She didn't move, didn't speak, just absorbed his words like air. By the time the man turned back around, Logan was already standing again, towering over him. In one practiced motion, Logan pulled out his phone. He held it up, phone camera open, and snapped a clear photo of the man's face, the tattoo, and the girl. The man's mask slipped. What the hell do you think you're doing, old man? He growled, his voice low and threatening. The old Logan, the one who used to solve everything with fists, banged on the door of his mind, hit him, put him down. But this wasn't a bar fight. This was a little girl's life. Logan's voice changed. The warmth was gone. What came out instead was cold, hard steel. Here's what's gonna happen, he said. You're gonna stand right there and not touch her again. The man stepped closer. Or what? Logan held up his phone, letting the man see the screen. Or, he said evenly, the cops I just called with my emergency SOS will walk in here, and the first thing they'll see is your face and that tattoo. Because while he had been talking, Logan's thumb had already pressed the emergency SOS button on his phone, a silent call for backup. For a moment, everything went silent. The hum of the refrigerators, the distant beeping of the checkout scanners. The soft music overhead, just the sound of 3 people breathing. Then somewhere outside, faint at first. Sirens. The man's eyes darted around. Panic busted through his fake calm. "You're crazy," he spit. "This is my kid." Logan didn't even blink. "Then you won't mind waiting for the police to clear it up." The snake-tattooed man snapped. He let go of the girl's hand and bolted, sprinting past Logan, racing toward the other end of the aisle. Logan didn't chase him. He turned instantly to the only person who mattered. He shrugged off his heavy leather jacket and wrapped it gently around the girl's shoulders. It dangled off her tiny frame, almost swallowing her whole. "What's your name, sweetheart?" he asked, voice soft again. She swallowed hard. Mia," she whispered. "All right, Mia," Logan said. "You're safe with me. Let's go meet the nice officers, okay?" She didn't answer with words. She just grabbed onto his hand. Tight, like if she let go, the world would swallow her up again. They walked together toward the front of the store. Shoppers were starting to notice. Curious glances, phones halfway raised, no one really understanding what had just happened in aisle 9. By the time they reached the entrance, the sirens were loud. Blue and red lights flashed through the glass doors. 2 squad cars screeched to a stop outside. Officers rushed in. Logan lifted a hand and pointed. "He ran that way," he said calmly. "Snake tattoo, gray hoodie. I've got his picture. And this little one?" He squeezed Mia's hand gently. She signaled for help. That got their attention. Within minutes, officers fanned out through the parking lot and surrounding streets. They didn't have to search for long. The man with the snake tattoo was tackled before he even made it off the property. Inside, the store manager brought Mia a bottle of water. An officer knelt in front of her, speaking softly, asking careful questions. "What's your mom's name? Do you know your address? Do you know this man?" Showing her the photo of the snake-tattooed stranger. Mia shook her head, eyes filling again. "No," she whispered. "He told me not to talk. He said if I screamed." Her voice broke. The officer nodded gently and didn't press further. It didn't take long for the truth to come out. He wasn't her father. He wasn't any kind of guardian. He had abducted Mia from a nearby park 2 days earlier, 2 whole days, where her real mother had been living her worst nightmare. Posters, police, prayers, and no answers. Until a biker in a leather vest walked down the wrong aisle at the right time. Mia didn't cry much. It was like she was too tired for tears. She just held onto Logan's hand and refused to let go. When her mother burst through the doors, everything broke open. She spotted Mia and ran, arms outstretched, sobbing before she even reached her. "Oh my God, Mia!" The sound ripped through the store. Shoppers went silent. Even the cashier stopped scanning groceries. Mia finally let go of Logan's hand. She flew into her mother's arms, and the 2 of them collapsed together onto the floor, clinging to each other like they were afraid the other might disappear. Logan turned away, suddenly very interested in the row of shopping carts at the front. His throat burned. His vision blurred. He'd done a lot of things in his life he wasn't proud of. Hurt a lot of people. Broken trusts. Burned bridges. This was different. An officer walked up to him. "You the one who called?" he asked. Logan cleared his throat and nodded. "Yeah." The officer glanced at his vest, at the tattoos, at the patches that practically screamed trouble. "You did good today," the officer said simply. Logan shrugged, looking at the floor. "Kid did the brave part," he muttered. "I just listened." As the chaos began to settle, Logan knew it was time to leave. He wasn't used to gratitude. Cameras. People staring at him like he wasn't the villain for once. He started walking toward the exit. "Wait," he turned. Mia was running toward him, her mother a few steps behind. Her eyes were still red, but now there was something else in them, light. She stopped right in front of him and reached up to his chest, fumbling with his jacket pocket. From somewhere in her tiny hand, she pulled out a small plastic charm on a string, a little white angel with silver wings. She had been holding it the whole time. She pressed it firmly into the inside pocket of his leather jacket. "You can't give me that, kiddo," Logan said softly. "That's your angel." Mia shook her head, deadly serious. "You're my biker angel now," she whispered. The words hit harder than any punch he'd ever taken. Logan swallowed. He didn't know what to say. Tough bikers aren't trained for moments like this, so he did the only thing he could. He nodded, managed a small smile, and said, "You take care of your mom, all right?" Then he turned and walked out into the sunlight, the little angel charm warm against his chest. This time the sound of his boots on the pavement didn't feel so heavy. Within days, the story hit the local news. Hell's Angel saves missing girl with viral hand signal for help. People shared it everywhere. Photos of Logan's back patch. Interviews with the grateful mother. Clips explaining the hand signal Mia had used. For the world, Logan became something he'd never been before, a hero. But for him, it wasn't about headlines, it wasn't about likes or comments. It was about the quiet peace that settled into his chest every time he touched that little angel charm. And remembered one simple fact. For once in his life, he got it right. Months later, Logan still rides past that same grocery store sometimes. Most days, he doesn't go in. He just slows down. Engine rumbling, leather vest flapping in the wind. His fingers always reach down to the keychain on his bike. Hanging there, where everyone can see it, is that tiny plastic angel. Every time he feels it, he makes himself the same promise. If he ever sees that hand signal again, a thumb tucked into a palm, fingers closed over it, he will stop, he will listen, he will act. Because that day didn't just save Mia's life, it saved his. If this story touched your heart, and if you believe that even the roughest souls can carry the kindest hearts, help us spread this message. You're watching Kindness Valley, a place where we share true stories of courage, compassion, and second chances. Lonwa, hit like, share this video to raise awareness of the silent rescue signal. Lonwa, subscribe to Kindness Valley for more stories like this, and tell us in the comments, what would you have done if you saw that little girl raise her hand for help?